Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
Welcome to Bits Radio. I am Rob, and we are gearing up for Blood in the Snow 2022. My guest today is actually one of the directors from the emerging Scream shorts. Without further ado, this is Rosalee. Rosalee, could I get you to introduce yourself and what your project is?
Hi, I'm Rosalee, filmmaker from Vancouver, BC, and I've been an assistant director for 10 years, but I'm foraying into directing. So my first short in the past 10 years from film school is now it's going to be screening at Blood in the Snow. It's titled Gnaw. So it's a short. It's a movie. It's a film about how women can be so hard on themselves, like they can beat themselves up mentally and like physically. Like we can inflict a lot of torture on ourselves.
I can see that in this film. I really can. So what made you decide to make horror your first foray? I
felt for me, I wanted to explore with the effect of like unsettling, like to create an unsettling response for the viewer. And so I feel like horrors, like with a short film, when you have a finite amount of time to tell a story, and it can be a powerful medium to elicit response, to create that experience for a viewer. So for me, it was just a story that resonated, and I felt like for me there was layers, and it just felt like the perfect genre to explore all of these themes.
Nice. Yeah, because you pulled out all the stops in this one, like without giving anything away, because honestly, nobody listening right now will have seen it. So there is a lot going on at the end. Was it hard getting that set up?
Yeah, it was difficult, actually. So we shot the film in one day, except for the end scene. We shot that the second day just because, without giving anything away, there was a lot of makeup prosthetics. And to set that up was a lot of work. We dedicated like a day for that. We had some issues with the build. It didn't turn out how I wanted. So there were some challenges with shooting it to make it to sell the gag at the end with the curveballs that we had and the challenges. So it was a lot to set up.
No doubt. And now, just for the viewers, this story revolves around a hangnail, like that we can safely say. And what was the catalyst for using a hangnail to demonstrate the story that you put forth?
Well, it's something that we all have experience with. Like we all have hangnails. And even today, I had a Zoom course that I was in, and I found myself picking at a hangnail. And so, yeah, it is something that we all have this experience with. And for me, it's a metaphor. Like it can be painful. Like a hangnail can be painful. It can be an irritant. So that can also be many things in our lives. But a hangnail is one simple metaphor for that.
So was there any challenges for you? Because you said you've done AD and stuff like that. Was there any challenges for you stepping into this director's role for the first time?
Yeah, I was very challenged because for me, it was hard to turn off my AD brain. And because, a decade of experience as an AD on all kinds of projects, right? Currently on The Good Doctor, I was like, okay, I can direct this, and I knew right away what I could and couldn't pull off, and how much time I needed to execute this. So I AD'd it myself as well. Like I did the call sheets, I ran the set, and
cheated. That's it.
I wish I had an AD, like just hand it over and stay in the creative. Like there's a reason why we have an AD. So even though like I chose this project, like the scope, I knew it was easy to pull off. Like there's two actors, one location. Like it wasn't logistically challenging, but it would have been nice to be able to stay in the creative just and not have to do all of, even though it wasn't heavy lifting, that to me was a challenge to just fully wear one hat.
Well, and again, in independent film, it's very hard to wear one hat, period.
Mhm.
So that being said, I guess I can understand why you would want to AD yourself, especially because that's where you're comfortable too, isn't it?
Exactly, but like I know so many like brilliant ADs that could have come out and helped, but I just didn't want to, I guess, impose upon anyone. But I just still wish I did reach out. It would have been nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were some
Mhm.
of the things that you noticed directing for the first time that were very different from what you thought you might have to do?
Hmm. What I wanted to take an organic approach. I wanted to like I had all of the scenes blocked out in my head, but I wasn't married to a particular shot list because I wanted to give the actors an opportunity to bring something. But so I wanted to go into the organic approach, and it was beautiful, but it's still like I wish I was a little bit more thorough in the shot list so that um and then thrown it out just so I would have had that experience because I had the scenes all visualized, and I wanted to go in and collaborate with the cinematographer, collaborate with the cast, and have that process. But also, you have your hindsight, and you're like, no, actually, it would have been nice to also have it like very well defined shot by shot.
Okay, I can.
There's two approaches, I suppose. Yeah, two different approaches.
How much how deep into the other avenues did you go as far as editing and scoring? It's like how involved were you in that?
Very, very. I was a very small crew, but I did select wisely. Um, I had a I feel like the right cinematographer for this project and the right editor, and was very involved like in the editing process. Arlene is very experienced, actually a very experienced editor, but we did go back and forth, and I just allowed myself to be very intentional and specific, and we worked really well together. She was very responsive to my ideas, and she brought a lot too. So was very involved. The score done by an old time friend of mine. Actually, I didn't work too closely with him because I felt like I just gave him the tone and my notes, and he did an amazing job. Like he just, I feel, hit it out of the park. The music at the end is just beyond what I could have, like what I expected or could have envisioned myself. There was just, I think, one or two notes that I gave him. Yeah.
Excellent. And everybody knows when you're trying to do a short, especially when you want to do a festival circuit, that 7 to 9 minute mark seems to be the sweet spot.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did
Hmm.
you, like, as you're 7 minutes, did
Yeah.
you edit based on that time, or was it just coincidence that it was 7 minutes?
Well, I was actually it was a 5-page script. So just like the collaborative organic the approach that I took for this film gave it a little bit more breadth, and I didn't have a very fixed amount of time that I was going for, but I knew based on the script it would be in that world. So I actually went for the integrity of the story rather than the time, but I did know it would land somewhere in that world. Yeah.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
then how did you find your actors for this? Because they
Okay.
were dead
Oh,
on.
they were the perfect cast. Livia and Bethany were like my first pick for both of them, and I'm just um so honored that they were happy to join the project. Um, I reached out. I did some research and reached out to some people. I wanted the right cast that I could build that chemistry with, and it was very important to me that they were queer because they are queer in the story. And so um, Livia, Livia came to me first, and I had a chat with her, and we were discussing about who we would want, who she would want to work with. And I opened it up. I asked her if she had any suggestions. And her first suggestion was Bethany Brown, who I've worked with several times on several different TV shows or movies. And like, I just thought that was a brilliant that she suggested Bethany, and Bethany was on my radar as well. So it was just easy. Didn't even like it was no read necessary. Yeah.
It kind of shows you guys were already in tune before you even got in here.
Yeah. Working with them was a dream, really. Yeah, it was a very beautiful process. And yeah, there was just a natural chemistry.
Perfect. Now, having done the directing, are you thinking of directing other stuff? How hard will it be to be in the AD position again now that you've kind of captained the ship?
Well, I'm very happy. I am actually developing another short film. I will definitely have an AD. It was a beautiful experience. I learned so much from creating Gnaw. So I'm going into the next project much more informed. You know, even if I have a decade of experience as an AD, like I'm just grateful to have some directing experience. It's a nice progression from AD to director, but you have to do the work to have the true experience. Yeah.
So then if anybody's listening out there that is thinking of doing directing for the first time, what's the one piece of information you say you absolutely need to do to make sure it's smooth-ish?
To make sure it's smooth is really fight for the crew that you want and trust your gut. Don't settle. That is essential. Yeah. And don't get lazy. Like that's like the right away, just put your energy. You need good cast. That's essential. And you need good crew to collaborate with.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Bits before in any other projects?
I have never been to Bits, so I'm quite excited.
Excellent.
Quite excited. Yeah.
Well, in that case, thank you so much for being here. Everybody out there, stick around because I think I'm going to launch this the Sunday before Bits starts. So everybody watching, get ready for the festival. Nod is coming up on the Super Channel under Emerging Screams, which I believe is Tuesday night. But there is going to be so much to see this coming week. So Rosalee, thank you so much. And
thank you, Rob.
We'll see you at Bits.
We'll see you there. Thanks.
Excellent.
Okay.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jan Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart. I am Eduardo Correa Lima.